So you want to build a robot. That's great. You'll probably want it to move, right? And maybe lift something. Well, then you're going to need a motor. And you'll need to attach something to the motor. That would be gears. Gears are super cool. You can use them to draw cool shapes. You can also use them to move robots. That's what we'll talk about today. Check out these two gears. This one is huge. It has 60 teeth. This one is smaller. It only has 36 teeth. I'm going to use my hand as the motor. The gear I turn is called the driving gear. The gear that's being turned is called the driven gear. Watch what happens when we make the large gear the driver. The smaller gear turns faster. What happens if we replace the 36-tooth gear with a teeny tiny 12-tooth gear? The smaller gear turns really fast. Let's switch gears. I'll give the smaller gear a chance to drive. Do you think that the large gear will move fast or slow? Let's try it. You can see that the larger gear moves much slower than the smaller gear. So why in the world would you want a gear combination on your robot to move super slow? Well, suppose you want your robot to lift something heavy, or maybe you want it to hoist itself up and hang. You're going to need your gears to have a lot of strength. When the driving gear is smaller than the driven gear, the output, or the end result, is a machine that's slow, but very, very strong. We call this having a lot of torque. But suppose you want your robot to move really fast. In that case, you'll want a larger driving gear to be attached to the motor and a smaller driven gear making the wheels move. This makes the output very fast, but not very strong. So you can have a lot of speed, or you can have a lot of strength, but you can't have a lot of both. You need to make some choices. Let's look at one more thing. Notice the direction of the gears. What do you see? Yes, they're turning in opposite directions. That could be a problem when you're wanting them to move in the same direction, and we need to fix that. Adding a smaller gear into the middle will make that happen. Now you can see the wheels are both turning in the same direction. The middle gear doesn't do anything except pass the force along from the driving gear to the driven gear. The size of the middle gear doesn't make a difference. It doesn't do much. It just kind of sits there idly. So we call it the idler gear. Notice that the idler gear is turning really fast, but the driving gear and the driven gear are still moving at the same speed and in the same direction. So now you know how to make your robot strong or fast, and you know how to make all the gears turn in the direction you want them to go. So when you build your robot, think about this when you work with the gears. Good luck and have a STEMmy day.